Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Mark, and today I want to introduce you to our new set of football themed awards. This set comes with 3 different styles, and I want to show them to you real quickly, and then I'll walk you through the file and show you all the different ways you can customize these. This is version number 1, and they all come with the football shape on the top, and they come with what I call the blank version, like this one. And then you also have 3 different options that have 2023, 24, and 25 as far as the year is concerned up in the football, which I'll show you in just a second. This one has a circular area right here in the middle that you can take a piece of material, like for example, a clear piece of acrylic, and you can engrave information on it. You could also use wood or whatever you want. And it goes right inside here, and then it gets trapped inside there by 2 rings, a ring on the front and a ring on the back. So it's really fun to be able to engrave stuff on clear acrylic or whatever material you choose. You can also engrave more information down here and even on the base if you like. So that's version number 1. Version number 2 is very similar, but it's a little more simple. It's just a single layer where you can engrave anything you want here. In this case, I used what's called a reverse engraving, where I engraved the circle and left the text standing out. So this is another easy way to make a great football award. And you see that this is 2024 on the top. Again, you've got 23, 24, and 25 as options, as well as just the blank football. Let me talk about the base real quick. You can do a single base, double, triple, quadruple, as many as you want. In fact, the more circles that you use on the bottom, the more heft it gives to these, and just a really higher quality feel and a look overall. In fact, I'll show you what that looks like with version number 3. Version number 3, I refer to this as just kind of the pillar, a traditional pillar design where it's just got a tapered shape right here going right into the football there. This is blue translucent acrylic here, and I've got 5 layers on the bottom, and it really feels great in the hand, and it looks great as well. Again, you can engrave whatever you want to on the pillar section here, and it'll look great. I'm going to show you one more version of this one, and I've done it here in some orangey kind of pink translucent acrylic. And I also took some black matte acrylic and glued the 2025 on top of it, so you can see it here. The pink is in the middle, and then the 2025 is on the outside, giving it just another dimensional look that you might like. And I've got a 3-layer base on the bottom. So all 3 of these are really great. They're easy to customize, and I think you're going to enjoy making them. They take just about 1/3 of a sheet of material, and then however many base pieces or overlays that you use. Lots of options for these. So let me walk you through the file and show you even more how many different ways you can make use of this great set of football presentation awards. All right, let's walk through this file together so you can see all the different options that are available to you. As always, we're going to start with the text up here because it's important. You can read this and then delete it after you've read it. Black lines equal cut, red lines equal score, and your slot size for the base is 0.22 inches. This design is really made for 1/4-inch material. I highly recommend that you use something thick like that. I would not do 1/8 inch. That's up to you if you want to, but it just doesn't look as good. But in the end, that's your choice. Make sure that you measure your material with your calipers first, and then adjust the slot size based on your materials before you cut anything. All right, so here's version number 1, or option number 1, that I showed you in the intro. This one here has the center circle that you cut out, and the circle has little notches in it right here that allows the insert to not spin on you. And then there's 2 rings that go over top of it to hide the edges of it. So you're really going to like how clean that looks when you get done. Of course, you've got the blank football and then the 23, 24, and 25 options. When you cut this, let's say you cut this main piece out of wood. You've also got this shape right here that you can cut out of acrylic or whatever you want the insert to be. And you can engrave whatever information you want on there. Make sure you don't get the information way too close to the edges because it'll get covered up ever so slightly when this ring goes over it, like that. And make sure that if you're doing acrylic that you reverse engrave it on the back because it'll look a lot nicer, at least the clear acrylic will. And then when you insert it in there, like I showed you in the intro, you'll have the circle that goes over top of it here on both sides, the front and the back. And then, of course, you've got space down here to engrave whatever you want. Make sure that you don't get the content too close to the bottom, because remember that your base rings will stack up in here, and so you want to center that content. If you do anything right here, don't get it too close to the bottom or it'll get covered up. All right, so that's version number 1. Version number 2 is nearly identical, but you don't cut that middle out. That's just a score line, and you keep this as a single layer in this case. And again, if you're going to cut this football out of anything transparent or translucent, I recommend flipping it backwards and engraving the text backwards in this area, but that is up to you. And then below, you will also see these overlays that we'll have in just a minute as another option. Go down here to version number 3. This is the one I referred to as the pillar version. And again, it's really simple. You just put your content right here. Make sure you don't get it too low for the bases. And you got the blank one, the 23, 24, and 25. And then here are your football overlays that you can cut out of a different material and then overlay it on top like this, just to give it a really great look if you want to give it a little more dimension. 23, 24, 25, and a couple of the blanks. Bear in mind that if you do the front piece, I recommend that you sandwich it by a front and a back piece. It just looks better that way. And then here's your base pieces. The largest one is the one without the slot in it, and then they get a little bit smaller each time. And make sure that you always adjust the slot to match your material. If depending on what program you're using, if you're using Illustrator, you want to right-click and release compound path so that you can edit the slot. If you're using Inkscape, you will break apart is what it's called, so you can edit the slot. And that's all there is to this file. You're really going to love it. There's lots of different ways to treat it, to make it your own. I'd love to see what you guys make. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to help you. But until then, as always, I'll see you in the next one.